Okay, this should be live. Just gonna check one last time. There we go. Okay, good evening to those in the Dominican Republic, Haiti, Jamaica, Cuba, even the northern parts of South America, also from Central America, the Cayman Islands, as well as parts of Cuba, and maybe even Florida, but also parts of the Bahamas. Today, our main focus is going to be on Tropical Storm Melissa, because this is going to be a major threat to some areas in the Caribbean. Right now, I am currently sharing the stream across multiple social media platforms so we can get this out to as many people as possible. Just gonna double check, is it working, guys? Anyone seeing this properly? There we go. Tara's there. Okay, first one in the chat. Hi, Tara. How are you doing? But yeah, you mentioned a great point. Melissa is becoming increasingly concerning. All right, there we go. So let's get right into it, okay? Because I want to try and get this going as quickly as possible. So here's a look at the latest forecast on Melissa over the next 7 days. And this cone of uncertainty is very large. It could really impact a lot of areas. But the current forecast does have it starting to make a northwestern turn over the next 12 hours or so before it begins to stall by hour 24. Could make a little bit of an eastward jog for a brief moment before then going back to the north. And during this time, it's going to struggle. It's not really going to intensify too much. Wind shear is going to keep it from intensifying too significantly. It should only be a tropical storm at that point. But by the time we get to around, this would be day 3-ish, it is expected to intensify into a hurricane. And then by the time we approach day 4, it's going to become a major Category 3 hurricane. And by day 5, a powerful Category 4 major hurricane. After that, it is going to try to make a turn towards the north, towards Jamaica, or towards really wherever, and it may start to weaken some, but still a Category 3 or 4 major hurricane there, and then moves towards Cuba there as a Category 2 by day 7. Now, I want to reemphasize this forecast is very uncertain. This is 5 days out, 5 to 7 days out, and you can see the wide variety of the cone here. In 2/3 of the time, the storm will stay in this, so there's even a chance it's not even in this cone. Now, I want to talk about the impacts over the next 5 days, since that's something we have more certainty on. Okay, let's see. What am I missing here? Okay, alright. So, impacts now over the next 5 days. This green coloring denotes marginal impact, so some like little bit of light rain, maybe some gusty winds, and that does include parts of the northern or southeastern Bahamas, the Turks and Caicos Islands, the eastern half of Cuba, the Cayman Islands, and parts of Nicaragua and Honduras, but they're kind of covered up on this, and parts of northwestern, I believe that might be Colombia there. Just gonna double check if that is in fact Colombia there. Is it? Yes, okay, northwestern Colombia there could see marginal impacts as well. And then the entirety of Hispaniola. Now, going down to the slight category here, this is more flooding concerns, and some stronger winds. We're starting to get to storm force winds at this category as a possibility there, or it could be flooding. So the southernmost portions of Cuba are highlighted in that, and the entirety of Jamaica and the southern 2/3 of Hispaniola are also in that slight category. Now going down to the moderate category, this is where we could see either a significance starting to get towards the significant amounts of flooding, or hurricane force winds are becoming more of a possibility. Now, most of this is going to be in the form of rain. All these impacts for moderate and major are going to be currently in the form of rain. So this does include the southern third of Hispaniola there, and the southwestern portions of Haiti, the entirety of Jamaica in that now moderate category. And now going up to the possibility of major impacts, this will be major flooding potential. Now this is just the possibility now. These areas could see over a foot of rain over at least the next 5 days, and this could be even higher beyond that. But this is capped at 5 days. So the southern tip of the Dominican Republic, the southern portions of the southwestern peninsula of Haiti, and the eastern portions of Jamaica there are highlighted in that major possibility of major impacts category. So now let's go into the world of tropics right now, since there's a fair amount going on. It's not just Melissa. There's a disturbance here in the North Atlantic that could see some subtropical development near the Azores Islands, only around a 30% chance of development in the next 7 days. We, of course, have Tropical Storm Melissa here, winds of around 45 to 50 miles an hour, most likely, and we just discussed where that's going. We have a disturbance here in the eastern Pacific with a 40% chance of development over the next 48 hours and an 80% chance over the next 7 days. That is going to be continuing to meander westwards, not really going to be a problem for anyone. In the western Pacific, we still have Tropical Storm 97W, which is going to be moving through the Luzon Strait, but it will likely weaken. And we also have Tropical Storm Fangshan, which may already be a remnant low at this point, moving towards Vietnam, posing a flood threat there. The remnants of 92A could see some redevelopment in the Arabian Sea, only around a 20% chance of that happening. And in the North Indian Ocean, mainly the Bay of Bengal, there's a disturbance here with a 60% chance of tropical development over the next 7 days. In the South Indian Ocean here, we have 95S, which is weakened now to a tropical depression, still a high-end one, nearly a tropical storm. And that's going to be meandering to the west, not really impacting anyone. And we have Chang'e here, Tropical Storm Chang'e, which has weakened significantly, and that is expected to near the coast of Madagascar before then nearing Mozambique and Tanzania. We are currently code purple, the highest code level on here. On the Discord, that is code black, but that is going to be for Melissa, and we are also code orange for Fangshan. Alright, now looking at the latest, kind of the visible imagery on the system, we can see it is still somewhat sheared there. Not really, like the low-level center isn't really fully stacked with all this convection here. Most of this convection is off towards the east of the center, which the center looks to be located right around here. And as you can see, though, all these thunderstorms are just towards the east of it. So that's due to wind shear, and over time that's going to get a little bit better organized. And we can see that on here, how much convection is just firing continuously on the eastern side. Very heavy thunderstorms impacting parts of northeastern Colombia as well. Now, I do want to touch on why this thing is intensifying so much. Well, here's a look at the positioning on where it's located compared to sea surface temperatures. Waters are going to be as high as 30 to 31 degrees Celsius, so very warm for this system to rapidly intensify. And remember, it is expected to stall for a while. Now, the problem with that is oceanic heat content, or tropical cyclone heat potential, is very high. And it's going to be going over this blob of extreme depth, warmth with depth. So that's going to be a major problem there. In terms of intensification, this thing could become a Category 5. I would not rule that out. I'd give this around a 50% chance of becoming a Category 5. Now, again, looking at it here, wind shear is going to be decreasing, and that's going to be why it's going to be intensifying so much. Sea surface temperatures, not a problem, and relative humidity, no dry air problems. Perfectly fine with that. Now, distances from some areas, let's talk about that. This will be in, let's go to kilometers. Or actually, I believe, guys, I do want to ask you in the chat, those who are from Jamaica, do you all use miles or kilometers? I'm just curious, what do you all prefer? If you could leave that in the chat, that would be great. But for Hispaniola, in terms of distances in kilometers, it looks to be around 400 to 500 kilometers away from the southwesternmost tip of the Dominican Republic, and around 400 kilometers away from Haiti, which is still under a hurricane watch, surprisingly. And looking at parts of Colombia, around 300 to 400 kilometers away from there. Okay, you guys use both miles and kilometers. So I'll use kilometers here. It's around 400 kilometers away from Jamaica and around 470 kilometers away from Kingston in Jamaica. From Nicaragua, it's around 950, same for Honduras. And looking at Cuba, it's around 650 kilometers away, and the Cayman Islands around 900 kilometers away. Turks and Caicos Islands around 860 kilometers away, the southwestern Bahamas around 1100 kilometers away, and Miami there in around 1400 kilometers away in Florida. All right, now let's take a look at some of these model runs and how they've changed over the past day. This is the latest American run, and it's still set on that solution of it moving towards the northeast, towards Hispaniola, and just moving out to sea. That this has been a scenario that's just been locked on. It's really an outlier. This is the only model that's been showing that. Now, if we take a look at the Canadian run, this one has the system just moving more to the west there, clips parts of Honduras before then nearing the Cayman Islands as a major hurricane and then slamming into Cuba, gets very close to Florida there, and then slams into the Bahamas there as a major hurricane. After that, it could impact the northeastern United States, but that's just uncertain this far out. Looking at the European run, this is the really bad run for Jamaica there. It moves to the west, and it does that little jog to the north, stalls, and then rapidly intensifies to a major hurricane and slams into Jamaica there as a Category 4 strength system. This would be on the 28th or 27th. Looks like 28th. And then if we show the run before that, just so that way we can go longer range than that. The run before that has it slamming into Jamaica as a Category 5 and slams into Cuba as a Category 5 as well before it moves through the southeastern Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands as a Category 3 or 4 major hurricane before it speeds off towards Bermuda as a major hurricane and then just speeds off towards the northeast. Where does that go? And eventually on towards Atlantic Canada as still a powerful hurricane or post-tropical hurricane. Now, looking at the German model, this is the one that's been stalling near Haiti. This one, if we take a look, it still stalls near Haiti, delivering catastrophic rainfall rates for Haiti there, in the southwestern portions there. And we will cover those rainfall totals in a bit. And looking at the European ensembles overall, where the system's expected to go, you can see a majority of them curve towards the west. Some of them clip Jamaica there as a landfall. And if we go a little bit further out than that, it's pretty certain where it's going to be going, at least towards Jamaica, that general direction, into the northwestern Caribbean, and then towards Cuba and the Bahamas there, which they'll need to be watching the system closely over the coming days. Remember, this is not just going to be impacting Jamaica and Hispaniola. Cuba, the Cayman Islands, and the Bahamas also need to be watching the system closely. And if we look at it on here, we can see more of an idea of where Melissa's going. And if we pull up an earlier run, you can see here where is the system expected to go. Some of them impact parts of Haiti. Some of them go towards Jamaica there, and then some of them keep going towards the west, all the way towards Central America, and curves out that way. We'll show some more of the super ensemble members, or the clusters, showing where it's expected to go and the percent chances. But let's take a look at the American ensembles next. Where does it take it? See, about a third of them take it towards Hispaniola, but around 2/3 of them take it west towards Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and then Cuba and the Bahamas there, still as a major hurricane. And you can see that on here. Now, let's take a look at the European AI model on it, since this was one of the models that wanted it to move towards the northeast, towards Hispaniola, and it's backed away from that solution, makes a major hurricane landfall, looks like, over parts of Jamaica there, and then slams into Cuba, and then the Bahamas, and then nears Bermuda, and then goes out to sea. But man, there's a lot of land for it to hit before it can finally go out to sea, out in the open ocean. Alright, now looking at the rainfall totals, let's discuss this, since this is one of the most, the major impacts that the system could bring. Let's start off with the American run, since this is the one that wants it to go towards the northeast. And as you can see here, it's not going to really be anything good at all for parts of Hispaniola here. Those areas get up to 600 to 700 millimeters of rain across parts of southern the Dominican Republic and southeastern Haiti as well. Parts of the Turks and Caicos Islands gets around 300 to 400 millimeters of rain, and parts of Puerto Rico get around 7 to 8 inches of rain on this run. But if we take a look at Jamaica, some areas don't get really an inch of rain, and some areas maybe only a maximum of 2 inches. Not really anything for Jamaica. Now if we go to the German run here, oh boy, Okay. Yeah, this is bad. This is real bad. Is this a different run? I don't remember this. Is this the 12Z run? Oh man, yeah, okay. This is would be catastrophic for Jamaica here. If the system stalls over Jamaica like that as a hurricane for multiple days, this is the kind of catastrophic impacts it could deliver. So if we look at parts of Jamaica there, 47 inches of some areas over 50 inches of rain for parts of eastern Jamaica there. But as you can see, parts of western Jamaica don't get anything on this run. It just goes to show the wide variability with the system. Looks like though the eastern portion though is highlighted for the possibility of major impacts over the next 5 days. But Kingston on this run gets over 45 inches of rain. That is just insane. And as well, parts of Cuba, looking at that, they get around 300 to 400 millimeters of rain. Parts of southwestern Haiti doesn't get spared, or over 800 millimeters of rain will be possible. And the Dominican Republic gets a little bit more spared, only around 250 millimeters of rainfall accumulations. The Bahamas, their accumulations are around 100 millimeters or so. Now let's look at the European run, what that wants. And we go out to the next 7 days on this system. So, parts of the Dominican Republic get around 300 millimeters of rain. Haiti gets up to 700 millimeters of rain. And looking at Jamaica, the entire island gets just extreme rainfall totals of anywhere from 13 inches as the minimum on the island. That is insane. At least a foot of rain for the entire island on this run. And higher amounts of up to 32 inches of rain are possible. All right, so that's the rainfall, and let's take a look at the wind accumulation, see what that shows. Oh boy. Okay, let's start off with the American run. Parts of Hispaniola, not anything too big here. If we take a look, 100 kilometer an hour winds, maybe up to 110 kilometer an hour winds are possible. Nothing too crazy there. The German run, if we pull this up, parts of eastern Jamaica there get around. I believe you all would prefer miles per hour, so I will show this to you all on miles per hour. Up to around 100 to 110 mile an hour winds on the eastern portions and portions of Jamaica. Same for Kingston, central Jamaica around hurricane force, and then western portions of Jamaica around storm force. And then parts of Cuba here are highlighted for winds of up to 140 miles an hour, and that's just the German run over the next 7 days. Now let's talk about the European run. This is the one that has it moving to the west. Now let's go out to 7 days here. So parts of western Jamaica gets winds of up to 170 miles an hour. So that's well above Category 5 strength. And parts of eastern Jamaica on this run for Kingston around 70 mile an hour winds. Some of these other areas 120, 130 mile an hour winds. And if we look at parts of south of Cuba, 190 mile an hour winds are going to be possible down there. Then this is from the European run. And that will, of course, go towards Cuba, unfortunately. But at least over the next 7 days, in terms of winds that Cuba could get, the European run has winds of up to 150 to 160 miles an hour. So just that at the threshold of Category 5. That's just on this run. So are there any other runs? No, those are the other models. Now I do want to discuss the Hurricane Center public advisory on the system. Just to discuss this. So, the key messages. Melissa is forecasted to meander over the central Caribbean Sea and could potentially become a major hurricane by early next week. Interest in Jamaica, Haiti, Cuba, and the Dominican Republic are urged to continue monitoring the latest forecast. Due to Melissa's slow moving or slow motion, the risk of a prolonged period of strong winds, possibly lasting for a day or more, is increasing for Jamaica and the southwestern peninsula of Haiti. Preparations to protect life and property should be rushed to completion, since strong winds could begin in these areas as early as late Thursday or Friday and continue increasing over the weekend. Melissa is expected to produce heavy rainfall across portions of the Dominican Republic, Haiti, and Jamaica through this weekend, bringing a risk of significant life-threatening flash flooding and numerous mudslides. That is their latest key messages. Looking at the probability of tropical storm force winds, this is kind of how I highlight the categories for marginal or slight in terms of wind impacts over the next 5 days. So really, there's a lot of areas that could see tropical storm force winds here. And hurricane force winds, those probabilities are low because it hasn't even become a hurricane yet. But as you can see, Jamaica's the hot spot right now. Looking at their cone of uncertainty, it does drift to the southwest of Jamaica. Remember, this cone does as well. It does drift to the southwest of Jamaica, but it looks like it's going to have to make a turn to the north. And yeah, potential rainfall. This is only over the next 3 days, so this doesn't even include 7 days. So parts of the Dominican Republic get around 150 to 200 millimeters of rain, and parts of Jamaica 6 to 8 inches just over the next 3 days alone. Now, I do want to touch on the Google AI Ensemble members here. Let's see if this has gotten updated. It looked like the website might have crashed or something. Yeah, there hasn't really been anything new really on this, but yeah, the consensus had it making landfall in Jamaica as a major hurricane. And I do want to discuss some of these probabilities. This may be a little bit out of date though. Let me just check. Let's see, so around 15, so at least a 30% chance of this becoming a Category 5 on the Google AI members. Now, I do want to touch on some of these other models here. Let's discuss the HWRF model on what the system could do. This has it nearing Jamaica there as a Category 4 strength system and just stalls right next to Jamaica, Haiti, and Cuba there as a Category 4 strength system, nearly a Category 5 strength system at one point in time there. And if we take a look at the HAFS run, like the HAFS A model run, the system becomes a powerful hurricane there, moves to the southwest of Jamaica, but as you can see though, there is going to be at least outer bands pummeling Jamaica over the next 5 days there. And this will bring the possibility of tornadoes as well, tropical tornadoes. Now, steering current at the end of this model run, let's see where it starts taking it. Steering current has it to the southeast, which is interesting. Just really not a whole lot of movement, but it does become a powerful Category 5 on this run. Looking at the HAFS B run on this system, is this the most recent one? Huh, what happened? Okay, well the run before that had it peaking out at 884 millibars, and it had it as the strongest storm in recorded history across the planet, and lowest pressure in recorded history across the planet as well. Now I would like to pull up some model runs here from NOAA's experimental website. I'm going to pull this up off stream, got to pull up the website, what it's called. Let me find it. And this will show you all a 7-day forecast on some of these models. Okay, this is the website right here, I believe. Just make sure this works. Yep. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these models here on the system. Let's start out with the HAFS A. Is this going to be the one that goes out to 7 days? No. Okay, let me swap this out for another one. I believe I'm going to have to do this. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how this is supposed to work. Is it this? This might be it. And then let me... Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to get this to work. Okay, there we go. I'll show something much easier to see here, like reflectivity on here. This is going to be... Okay, this doesn't go out as far as I wanted it to. Let me do this one instead then. Here we go, this is the stuff. So this is the latest. Is there a new one coming out? A new model run's coming out, which I'll show later in the stream. But the 12Z1 here, if we show where it's expected to go, and I'll walk you through it in terms of time. This is currently Wednesday morning, so this was earlier today. This would be around... let's see, this would be, whoops, okay, doesn't, okay. This would be around Wednesday night, so right around now, this is kind of where the system's located. This would be Thursday morning. You can see some of those outer rain bands impacting parts of Jamaica already. Then if we go further in time here, I don't know why it's glitching so much like that, but if we go to Thursday night, some more rain is impacting Jamaica, but it's not really being shown on this here. And then if we go even further in time here, this would be Friday morning, some more of those outer rain bands impacting parts of Jamaica. And we go towards Friday nights, even more of those outer bands impacting Jamaica. Saturday morning, now starting to get closer again. Now at this point, it's a Category 2 strength system. And by Saturday night, you can see it now becoming a Category 4 strength system. And if we go further in time, this would be around Sunday morning, now approaching Category 5 strength, just south of Jamaica there. And some of those outer rain bands impacting Jamaica there, just stalling over Jamaica over long periods of time. And then eventually, unfortunately, it's going to start moving towards the northeast, and you can see Jamaica's right here getting slammed in that northeastern quadrant. Eventually, there it goes, and it just clips the island of Jamaica just to the west, at least on this model run. This would be next Wednesday morning, this time frame right here. So again, it's going to be a while potentially until they see a direct hit. You guys have a lot of time to prepare for a direct hit from it, but you all will be seeing the outer bands as early as tomorrow night. Now let's take a look at the HAFS B model on it. See, because this is the correct thing, right? Okay. Yep, now the HAFS B model run here does get a little bit close for comfort there. Some of those outer bands, of course, impacting the island on Thursday and Friday. Then this would be moving to the south of the island there on Saturday and just continuing to pummel the island there. And look at how large of a system it becomes afterwards. Slams Jamaica there, the western portions of Jamaica. So it seems like models are starting to trend a little bit more to the west now. Now this is insane, this model run here, this image, 859 millibars. That is just record breaking there. That would break records. I'm not quite sure that this is even possible here, because the oceans may not support this. It's just models going incredibly bullish with its intensity there. And what about this model here? What's this one? The C. What is this showing? I haven't really checked out this one yet. Yeah, it doesn't do a whole lot or really great at all. What is this? Okay, this doesn't do anything, I guess. Maybe? Okay, yeah. I'm curious what this is, actually. This, okay, can I not? Whoops, okay. What can I see here? Can I see anything like pressure, anything? I'm curious how this kind of works. Oh, that's where people get this kind of map in. Huh. Oh, that's Imelda. Okay, never mind. Okay, this is an older thing. Alright. Was just curious how does this work? Okay. Sorry guys, this is a little bit confusing trying to figure out how to use this. Anyways, I'll go to more of the multi-model things here. If I go to this model here, can I highlight a specific area? That would be very helpful. Yes, there we go. This is the outer view of it, where the system's going, but it's a little bit hard to show. So, you know what? I'm going to be answering now some questions in the live chat. I'm going to go through them in order, okay? And I'm going to put on the top here, if you have any questions about your local area, you can always ask, and I will gladly answer. Now, I do answer them in order of which they came in, so remember, I will get to you, all right? So let's start here. Yep, big cone. Wait, why is your cone hitting Jamaica? Well, remember though, the system is going to be like the cone. It is so uncertain as to where it's going to go. So that's why. The center though is kind of where it's going. It's shifted a little bit more to the west over the past day. The problem is Google AI's Ensembles, their website kind of went down. So there's no new forecast there, and then they do a great job there on their or their computer models do a great job on kind of doing forecasting there. So I didn't have really access to that as much. Tomorrow's forecast should be much better. Again, though, we are getting more certainty as to where it's going to go. There still are multiple scenarios as to where it goes. But yeah, Jamaica there, currently in the center there, at least on the forecast cone. But again, it could go all the way to the east there towards Hispaniola, or it could go all the way to the west here towards the Cayman Islands, Cuba, and Florida. Let's see, what other questions do we have? Scrolling down. If it goes more westward than forecasted track, I expect it a Category 5. This could honestly become a Category 5 even on this forecast here. This is going to be exploding in intensity right over here. if it's able to get a core together and start drifting westward, this is going to bomb out here. This forecast is somewhat conservative. Someone says 300 miles an hour. No, no. Okay, they meant 200. Yeah, 200 miles an hour cannot be ruled out with this system. Let's see, Haiti, please don't get hit. I mean, it's possible Haiti gets hit, but even if it doesn't hit, there's a possibility of major impacts in the form of flooding. You're underestimating the hell out of Melissa? Well, maybe. But again, I'm kind of in line with the Hurricane Center forecast there. Do have it as a Category 4. I believe the forecast has it around 120 to 125 knots, whereas the Hurricane Center is only going 115 knots. So this is going a little bit higher than them. This forecast will be upped just depending on model guidance, and we really need to just eliminate the eastern solutions of it going towards Hispaniola for me to really up the intensity here. Forecasting a Category 5 when it's only a tropical storm is very unwise because a lot can change. Let's see here. What else? What about the wind shear? Let's look at the model on wind shear here, kind of showing what it's going to have to deal with. And let's show you all the latest. Let's do the HAFS B run from earlier. So let me go to, okay, this thing's atrocious right now in terms of how it's stacked together. They're not stacked at all. Kind of see it on here. But let's go to 24 hours from now, kind of showing what the shear's like, things like that. 24 hours from now, it's still going to be dealing with moderate shear. Relative humidity's fine, not really any dry air. Now going out to hour 48, so 48 hours from now, a little bit more dry air looks like, and still moderate westerly wind shear, so it's going to be lopsided with much of the thunderstorms onto the east side, and you can see that on here. Now if we go forward in time to, let's say, hour 72, so 3 days out from now, this western portion has some dry air to it, and you can see that on here, mid-level dry air. But wind shear is starting to decrease. It's starting to get into that low category, which is really allowing for it to intensify, and the steering flow starts taking it more to the west-southwest. And you can see that on here. By the time we reach hour 96, now a Category 5 strength system because of that low wind shear. Shear is still low, and the steering now takes it to the west. And then beyond that, if we go out to the maximum forecast here with 884 millibars at the final frame, just looking at the environment, pristine there, very low wind shear, but the steering flow has it moving to the east apparently here, so really just it's gonna stall. I'm curious what the sea surface temperatures are going to look like and what kind of upwelling it has on this model here. Yeah, I just want to show this here. Look at how much it stalls as a powerful Category 5. This is a Category 5 for roughly 2 days, roughly 1 to 2 days, stalling over the same area, and the waters don't cool that much, maybe by 2 to 3 degrees Celsius. Whereas if it's just over anywhere else, it just tank by like 6 degrees Celsius. So it really just shows how much the oceanic heat content is helping this system. Curious what the other runs want. HAFS A? Yeah, really not any upwelling at all. Very warm. It needs to get below that yellow thing to really make a dent in the system. The HWRF model here, that has it stalling more in near Cuba. Yeah, I saw HAFS B wanted 225 miles an hour with the system. Lee says, I have family in Camagüey in Cuba. I will discuss those impacts that they could receive. Let me just find out where it is. Okay. Oh, it's right there. Alright. So let's take a look at the rainfall forecasts from these various models. German model, nothing over the next 7 days. American model, nothing over the next 7 days. And the European run, around 100 millimeters of rain. And my forecast there gives it around a marginal impacts over the next 5 days, although that will likely increase if we go on beyond the 5-day range. 250 miles possible? No, not with the system. I wouldn't say 200 is the ceiling. I'm curious if we can take a look at maximum potential intensity on the system. I will show this to you all. This is going to be an interesting tool, where we can kind of see, man, where'd it go? Okay. Okay. Sorry, just trying to find the website to show you all. Okay. There it is. Now I will pull this up on stream so we can talk about the ceiling. How strong of a Category 5 could this get? We can look at oceanic heat contents. Where is that? It's going to be right over here. Okay, doesn't show, apparently. Does this show? Yes. Okay. In terms of pressure, the maximum potential intensity there that looks to be in the, whoa, how low is that? That's in the 850s millibars. So really, it has an incredibly high ceiling south of Jamaica, right over there. And in terms of winds, over 200 knots there of winds. So really, the ceiling, yeah, 225 miles an hour. This could be one of the strongest storms in recorded history if it goes there. Now, a lot of these other areas are around winds of, let's see, just trying to figure out the colors here because the color scale is so wonky. Let's see, that's around 175. That's going to be around probably 100. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8's there in around 50 knots. That would be, I don't know. But probably around 180 to 185 knots there as a maximum potential intensity. I'm going to just quickly check out what that is in miles per hour. That's around 215 miles an hour. So yeah, this has the potential to tie for one of the strongest systems in recorded history across the planet. Let's see other questions here. Melissa, literally, yep, third basin now with storms above 200 miles an hour. Yes. Honestly, like I see some people, are a little bit excited about that. Yes, that's really cool, getting such a powerful system. But I don't like the impacts that the system is threatening Jamaica as such a powerful storm. It's similar to Patricia. Do you think this would be a Category 5? Yes, I'd say it's more likely than not to become a Category 5. Let's see what else here. I'm going through more of the questions. So yeah, mathematical limit. This could break records. So this is really gonna be something that you all really need to watch in the Caribbean here. This could break records, and the record's only 190 miles an hour officially. That's not hard to beat in when the ceiling is 215 to 225. So really, this thing could break records that go back all the way to the 1850s. This really could be a one in a century kind of storm, once in a century. See, is it possible to hit Long Island, New York? I will discuss that real quick. Beyond that, really, it's only the Canadian model that wants that. Yep, that is only the only model that wants impacts there. And that's in the 10-day range, so that's inaccurate. I only do my forecast up until 7 days from now, so not showing anything there. This is the current 7-day forecast. Now, in terms of the United States, Florida could see impacts from the system. I wouldn't rule that out. As you saw there in the Canadian run, it does brush up against Florida there, causing some flooding concerns for the Keys, for example. So that's a concern. Let's see what else. I have a question. When are we going to get the next National Hurricane Center update? Next update will be at 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and it is 10:35 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So in around 25 minutes or so. See, I'm going through more of your questions, guys. Remember, I answer the questions in order. I will get to all your questions, okay? Eastern Jamaica is mountains and on the dirty side there, yep. See, I'm in the northern Bahamas right now. Will this system affect us? Alright, Kenny, looking at you there, if you're in the northern Bahamas, I'm assuming you mean these two islands right here, or if you're in this general area. Over the next 5 days, nothing to be concerned about here. The areas of marginal impacts are mainly going to be south of this line. over the next 5 days. Now, beyond that, it could pose a threat to the northern Bahamas. I wouldn't rule that out. They are in that cone of uncertainty over the next 7 days of where the center could be. And I would like to show you all the supercluster of ensembles to show you all a better idea of that in terms of the Bahamas, maybe some impacts there. But they should be watching the system, okay? You in the Bahamas should be watching this. Alright, here it is, now starting to get a little bit farther out. As we can see, though, there is the possibility some of these members go through the Bahamas there. And again, there's mainly 5 scenarios that I see happening with the system. First scenario is it moves off towards the northeast, towards Hispaniola and out to sea. That's the most unlikely one as of right now. Second most unlikely is going to be it just keeps going to the west and impacts parts of Nicaragua and Honduras, and then eventually maybe dissipates over the Yucatan or starts moving towards the northeast, towards Florida there. And then maybe towards New York, the northeastern United States there, New England. Now, talking about the 3 likely tracks, okay? This would probably be number 3, I'd say. If it goes to the north and it stalls just between Haiti, Jamaica, and Cuba, between those 3 countries, and just stalls, and doesn't really do a whole lot over the next 5 days, before eventually curving out to the northeast. Now, the second most likely scenario is it just moves towards the west here, before then nearing the Cayman Islands, and then eventually impacts the northern Bahamas there. That's like the second most likely track here. And now the most likely track is it's going to slam into Jamaica there, into Cuba, and then the central Bahamas, and then out to sea, and then impact parts of Bermuda. That's going to be the most likely track, and that's what's kind of showed on here. So I hope that gives you a better idea as to where it's going. Let's see here. Sandy 2.0, it's really too far out to be making those claims. Wait, it's going to turn north? Yes, it is going to be trying to make a turn to the north. So those in Jamaica do need to be watching this system, okay? The Hurricane Center cone can be misleading at times, as it only goes out to 5 days. So this thing's going to try to potentially make a northward curve at the end. Now, is it going to be doing it instantly after, or is it going to wait a little while? That's going to be what we need to figure out over the next few days. See here. So 180 miles an hour seems possible? Yes. Apparently, U.S. Naval Station in Guantanamo Bay must be taking preparations for the storm surge. Yes, they are highlighted in the area there for, I believe, slight impacts, potentially. Let's see here, we have more people from Jamaica here. Yeah, when is the next National Hurricane Center update? At 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Nicaragua, let's see here. Asking some questions about Nicaragua. Legar, don't know where that is, but those areas could see marginal impacts, and I believe you're talking about over here somewhere. Parts of Nicaragua there looks to be around, at least over the next 7 days, on this model run here. Whoops. Let me go back to this. 7 days, rainfall amounts around 50 to 100 millimeters of rain. And in fact, let's show some of the ensemble members here. In terms of inches of rain, maybe up to around 2 to 3 inches of rain seems to fall over there. All right, more of these questions here. In Jamaica, will this storm hit Jamaica? It is possible, okay? And it seems more and more likely that they are going to get impacts from the system. Really, the entire island is going to see at least moderate impacts from the storm over the next 5 days. And beyond, and they have a possibility of major impacts over the next 5 days. Now, if we extended this forecast even farther, that would increase the rainfall totals for portions of Jamaica and parts of Cuba and Hispaniola, but mainly Jamaica there. Those totals would increase even further, or even higher. But for right now, they've been upgraded here. Instead of it just being to the marginal category, it is now the entire island's in the moderate category. And we could see this start creeping up in this major and extreme category over the next few days. So just remember, you all want to be preparing. Tomorrow is really your last big day to prepare for this storm. By Friday, it's gonna, let's see, this is gonna be, let's see, this is Wednesday night. This is gonna be Thursday nights. Then this would be Friday nights, Saturday nights. But really, I wouldn't risk it. I'd start finishing your preparations by Thursday or Friday. Start really preparing for it. And especially if you get into that tropical storm warning or hurricane watch or hurricane warning, really start taking it seriously then. I highly doubt we're not going to see any sort of upgrade there to those watches or warnings. I don't agree with a hurricane watch for parts of Haiti. If we see why here, the watches mean probabilities of tropical storm force winds within 48 hours are like high enough there. I wouldn't really be issuing it much for Jamaica yet or Haiti, just because those chances aren't really that high. Maybe parts of I could see possibly Jamaica there and Haiti, but not a hurricane watch just yet. And in terms of warnings, not really, it's not likely there within the next 36 hours, so that's why they're holding off on that. In terms of hurricane probabilities over the next 48 hours, nothing. So parts of Haiti doesn't really need to worry about hurricane conditions in terms of wind. But again, it's not the wind, it's going to be the rain there that's going to be a problem. Major impacts are going to be possible in southwestern Haiti. Apparently, the new advisory is out, I heard. I'm going to check in the Discord here. Yes, new advisory is out. What is the peak being forecasted at now? Oh, and remember how you all were asking in Jamaica? Well, it doesn't look like it's going to make that northward turn, right? As in on this cone, and how it was showing, oh, this cone takes it more to the north. Well, unfortunately, the new cone now starts shifting more to the north by Jamaica there as a major hurricane. So again, it's going to try to make that northward turn. So it's going to be quite a concern for Jamaica. Okay, let's see here. Um, just going to respond to something real quick on social media. Just going to share this real quick. There we go. Okay, I'm going to real quickly see if there's any questions on Twitter there. Is it safe to go to the Dominican Republic right now? Um, let's see there. So for the Dominican Republic, again, in terms of impacts there, it really depends on where you're going to in the Dominican Republic. The northern portions may only see marginal impacts. The southern portions may see moderate to major impacts over the next 5 days. Any chance it will go to Mexico? Very unlikely, but as we saw on this super cluster of ensembles, though, that chance is not zero. It's a below 5% chance that it will impact Mexico, but it's not zero. How does the outlook look for the Cayman Islands? Well, on this one here, the Cayman Islands impacts here around 35 to 40% chance that it impacts the Cayman Islands, and at least marginal impacts over the next 5 days. And that's mainly due to, let's see, is it rain or wind? Um, Looks to be a mixture of both, I think. Let me just see the Hurricane Center and their probability of tropical storm force winds. Yeah, it's a mixture of the two, rain and wind for marginal impacts. Again, anywhere here in this shading right here could see marginal impacts in the form of wind. This is what I'd highlight for the possibility of marginal impacts in wind over the next, at least marginal impacts. In terms of slight impacts, more so this color right in here. And it's mainly for confidence. I'm not saying those impacts aren't going to happen for Jamaica. It's just it's far out that it's really uncertain. But in terms of rainfall, that's going to be much more of a concern there. Oh, of course. I didn't realize you were still watching. Thank you, Hackin AM. I do more of my stuff on YouTube. Um, And so yeah, so I do more of the most of the people are watching on YouTube right now. I have around, let's see, well, 117 people. Thank you guys so much for your support. I just want to say that. If you're liking the kind of content and commentary I'm doing, be sure to like and be sure to subscribe, especially if you live in any of these areas, really. If you live anywhere in this cone or anywhere in this green shading, but just generally anywhere in this cone, I please ask you to subscribe because I will be continuing to post updates and things can change drastically in a day. And I will be continuing to provide these daily updates until it's no longer a threat. But yeah, if you'd like to, I don't really look at Twitter questions as much, um, but I just stream there just because I'm trying to get it out as much as I can. All right, other questions here. Let's see here. If it reaches Category 5, this hurricane season will have the second highest amount of Cat 5s in one season. Yes, that's impressive. This is going to be a disaster for somebody, says Mark. Yes, unfortunately, we can't really escape this becoming a disaster for somewhere. Um, really, this is going to be impacting somewhere, at least somewhere, majorly. Just don't know where, just yet. Confidence is growing, though. We're getting a better idea. Um, let's see here. All right, other questions. Just updated. Yeah, okay, let's see. Is it going to reach Category 5 status? I'd give it around a 50% chance that it's going to become a Category 5, and even that may be conservative. This morning I thought it was only around a 20 to 30% chance, but no, it's probably higher than that. Okay, latest Google AI Ensemble members are out. And let's discuss this. The consensus has it slamming into Jamaica as a Category 3 strength system. This would be on Tuesday evening into or around Tuesday afternoonish as a Category 3. But some of these, again, it's very uncertain as to when that's going to happen. But the consensus does have it making a landfall in Jamaica there. Looking at intensity and the probabilities of it becoming, for example, a Category 5, on this run it's a little bit lower there. Um, Looks to be around 7 or 8 of them, so that's around a 16 to 20% chance probably of it becoming a Category 5, at least on this. As you can see, majority of these Western ones do have it becoming a Category 5. But if we don't include all those members that go instantly towards the northeast, and we mainly focus on these members here, probably these ones right here, trying to get a better idea of its consensus and intensity. Still looks to be Category 3 or Category 4 strength south of Jamaica there. This is the current consensus, and then it moves off towards the Bahamas, the Turks and Caicos Islands, Cuba as well, so a lot of areas there. See, Marlando Banks says, here from southwest Jamaica, and we got battered by Beryl last year. Yes, and this could be even worse. It has the potential. If you're in southwestern Jamaica, currently you're going to see around moderate impacts. In terms of rainfall forecast, over the next 7 days for you, going over the various model runs, German run has nothing. Nothing at all for you in southwestern Jamaica. Ignore that catastrophe for the eastern portions of Jamaica there. In terms of the American run, around half an inch. The European run for you in southwest Jamaica has up to 17 to 18 inches of rain in southwestern Jamaica. In terms of wind accumulations, German run has only around 60 mile an hour winds. The American run should be quite low. Yeah, only around 15 mile an hour winds, nothing at all. And the European run has winds of up to 170 miles an hour. So as you can see, it's anywhere from 17 to 170 mile an hour winds could be occurring in Jamaica, in the southwestern portions of Jamaica. I am from Kadubig. Sorry if I butchered that. Oh, tropical storm. Let's see. Let me find out where you are. Oh, let me change this real quick to chat to see live chat. I want to see every message because I want to be able to answer every single question there is. Because some people flat like seem bots or whatever, and YouTube won't show it to me. I want to be able to see every question. Oh, you're from the Philippines there. Okay. Nothing really impacting you there, fortunately. Oh man, okay. Let's see here. Now, what else? Kind of next week we might see another potential tropical cyclone in the western Pacific. I have not checked that. I'm gonna check this. Bear with me, guys. If you're in Jamaica, I wanted to look real quick at the western Pacific. What kind of tropical cyclone could impact you all? Nothing really within. There's this one wave that will go through the southern Philippines. Then there's that other one that could, but that's beyond the 10-day range. And looking at the Canadian run, really downtrended on that system, potentially impacting the Philippines. Some had it as a typhoon, and now it's just really downtrended. So yeah, sorry, just wanted to discuss that briefly. I'm close to Kingston, so Kingston's impacts, they have the possibility of they're going to get moderate impacts, but they do have the possibility of major impacts, mainly in the form of flooding. Now let's discuss eastern Jamaica here. Let's first start out with the rain or the wind. On this one, Jamaica or Kingston gets around 70-mile-an-hour winds on the European run. The American run only around 16-mile-an-hour winds. In the German run, up to 102-mile-an-hour winds. Now, in terms of rainfall, let's start out with the European run. 20 inches of rain. The American run, only an inch of rain. And the German run, up to 42 inches of rain could fall over the next 6 days alone. So anywhere from an inch to really 50 inches of rain could fall. That's how uncertain it is right now. Hello everyone from Jamaica. I'm gonna create a poll if you all don't mind. Let's see, how do I do this again? Start a poll here. What country are you from? Cayman Islands are their own country, right? Let me just check. I believe so. Oh, okay, it's a British overseas territory. All right. So that's what I was wondering. Okay, let me do Jamaica. Let me do Cuba. Let me do Cayman Islands. And let me do Bahamas. Those are the main areas. No, I'm not going to include the Bahamas. I'm going to do Nicaragua, Honduras, and Bahamas. Just going to add a poll for you all there. So, yes, thank you guys so much for your support. Remember, if you're liking this kind of content and you want to stay up to date, be sure to consider subscribing because I do these updates whenever there's a system threatening anywhere. And I'm curious, guys, how are you liking the thumbnails? I did want to ask you all of that. Sorry, I'm just going to post this here. Just so I can kind of show you all the thumbnails, and what I mean by that, I'm going to send this in my own Discord server. Again, if you want to follow me on other social media platforms to stay up to date, I only do these streams occasionally, but I'm always posting on other social media platforms. So my socials are right down here on the bottom right there if you want to follow me as I pull this up. So, in my thumbnails here, just please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I make these kind of thumbnails here, so again, I do updates internationally, but I do these updates here, so if you're highlighted in the red area, then should I watch it or not, pretty much. That's the point of that. Just to kind of let you know. So, because I do streams internationally, but, if you subscribe, you can still see updates like, oh, is it threatening Jamaica or whatever? Am I highlighted in this red coloring or not? Pretty much just kind of letting you know, do you need to watch the system or not? If not, you can just ignore it, whatever. If it's not threatening you, it's not threatening you. But if it is, this is something to be looking out for, especially with this system. Let's answer some more questions here. Do you think it will hit Jamaica as a Category 4 or 5? It is definitely possible. It is possible it could hit Jamaica as the strongest storm in recorded history, okay? There was model runs showing that. Really, anything's on the table right now in terms of impacts for Jamaica. But at least over the next 5 days, okay, they could get a landfall in the next 5 days. It's so uncertain. But currently forecasting a Category 4 south of Jamaica and a Category 3 or 4 landfall in Jamaica by day 6. But again, the cone is just so large at that point. Really could be anywhere in here, and there's a third chance that it's not even in this cone by that point. Let's see here. Wow, okay. A lot of polls, a lot of people from Jamaica watching. Okay, how far is it from Saint Anne, Jamaica? Let's look at that. And real quickly, guys, since all of you are from Jamaica, I want to ask you a question. Do you prefer I measure things in miles away or kilometers away? I just want to know. Okay, just so that way I can give you all your information on that way. I wanna express it the best way I can to you all. Okay, I know every country is different, so I want to ask you all: do you all prefer miles away or kilometers away? Miles? Okay. Yes, okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure, okay, because I know you all have um different preferences. So Saint Anne in where is that going to be? I am going to figure that out right now. Saint Anne. I'm assuming that's over here is what you mean. Saint Anne's Bay? So looking at the distance here, if we take a look at this forecast here, and we go to miles away, is this miles? No, that's kilometers. So miles away from Jamaica right now, the center is currently around 270 miles away, and Santa Ana Bay there around 330 miles away. But it's going to be moving at a snail's pace. Okay, it's only going to be moving at, let's see, this is 36 divided by 12, 3 miles an hour or less. And at this point here, this is a 24-hour point. Yeah, it's really on average 3 miles an hour. So it's going to be moving very slowly. Again, though, it could start making that curve towards the north there, which is starting to be more of a concern. Whoa, whoa, okay, did not realize that there was going to be that many people. Um, Man, okay, thank you guys so much. Oh, someone's from Belize. How are you doing? Wow, okay. I was not expecting. Thank you guys so much. I do want to ask though, are you liking this kind of? Is there any suggestions you have? Do you like this kind of content? That kind of stuff. Is there anything you'd like me to do? Cover more? Kind of things like that. And Belize impacts there, not really anything over the next 5 days. There could be impacts beyond that range, and you in Belize should be paying attention to the system. I do want to just point that out. There's a non-zero chance it heads towards you. You see, some of these ensemble members, one of the scenarios really is this way. Out of 5 scenarios, this is probably number 4 out of 5 in terms of likeliness. That's kind of low there. Under a 5% chance you see impacts from the system at all. But there still is a 1 to 5% chance that you'll see impacts from it. So just stay up to date. Nothing too bad. Just, monitor forecast. We'll let you know if it's starting to come towards you. Thank you guys so much for your support. Could the rain that following Jamaica there is part of the storm? I don't know what you mean by that. Could the rain that following in Jamaica here, is it a part of the storm? Oh, okay, I get it now. Sorry. Is the rain that's currently falling. So is it currently raining for you all in Jamaica? Let me take a look. Yeah, some of those northeastern portions there, not really from the system itself. Okay, these are just some stray thunderstorms, whatever. But over time, though, it's going to start getting closer and closer. I guess it's weird. Okay, you know what? No, it is a part of the system. Alright, so a feature of tropical cyclones here and thunderstorms is they release what we call outflow boundaries. If you see this guy right here, you see how it's a line here? It acts as like a cold front. It acts as a lifting mechanism for thunderstorms. And as you can see, this is moving over Jamaica there, and that's kind of what helped fire those thunderstorms up. These continuous outflow boundaries that are leaving the tropical cyclone, just firing up all these thunderstorms. So actually, technically, yes, it is a part of the system. So you're already seeing impacts from the far outer bands of the system, but not really the core of impacts just yet. Let's see here, Montego Bay. Let me open that up. See what kind of impacts you could get there. That is all the way up there, northwestern Jamaica. So currently in the 5-day forecast of impacts, you would get moderate impacts, mainly in the form of flooding. In terms of rainfall forecast from the various models, let's discuss that. American model here, in terms of impacts, less than an inch of rain. The German run, an inch or two of rain. And the European run, up to 14 inches of rain are possible. And even more, up to 20 inches of rain are possible over the next week. Now, in terms of winds, let's discuss that. American run over the next week, only around 20 mile an hour winds expected there. The German run, up to around 50 mile an hour winds. And the European run up to 150 mile an hour winds. So anywhere really from 20 or anywhere from 15 to 150 mile an hour winds are going to be possible for you there. So again, it just goes to show the wide variability in terms of forecasting there. See, someone's saying I'm from Manchester, Jamaica. All's well there, good for you in Belize. There's some heavy rain, but that's not from the system just yet. Let's see, Manchester, is that it? Manchester, Jamaica? Which one? Are these? Looks like you're talking about this area then, I'm guessing. I don't see Manchester on here, but if this is the area you're talking about, it is expected to get moderate impacts over the next 5 days. In terms of winds, they could see winds as high as anywhere from 10 to 110 miles an hour will be possible there. Just goes to show the uncertainty. And rainfall forecast, up to 27 inches of rain being forecasted from the European run, 1 inch from the American and German runs. So really anywhere from nothing to like 30 inches of rain are possible there. See here. What about Westmoreland? I'll pull that up. Is that the United States or Jamaica? I'm assuming you mean Jamaica. Yes, okay, Jamaica. See. I'm assuming you mean somewhere over here. Those impacts the western portions of Jamaica there could see, in terms of rainfall accumulations, the European run shows 17 inches of rain, the American run shows half an inch, and the German run shows like nothing. So really nothing to up to, let's say, 25 inches of rain will be possible there. Maybe 20 inches of rain. In terms of winds, let's discuss that. So the American run here, in terms of winds, only for those areas, only winds of up to 20 miles an hour. German run a little bit higher, winds of around 50 miles an hour. The European run, on the other hand, shows winds as high as 170 miles an hour happening there for parts of southwestern Jamaica. Do you think the name will be retired after all this? Ooh, that's a good question. Well, if it's inevitable that it's going to be causing major impacts, really, I'd say so. I'd say we could see Melissa be retired after this. What are the winds in total for Kingston and St. Andrew on the European run? So Kingston, Jamaica there, in terms of winds on the European run, around 70 miles an hour. German run around 100 miles an hour. And St. Anne, I believe you were talking about somewhere up here. But I do want to discuss the rainfall accumulations for Kingston. Rainfall accumulations could be as high as 47 inches of rain, up to 50 inches of rain could be possible for parts of Kingston. I'm probably going to make a social media post about this. Guys, just bear with me for one moment. I'm going to make a graphic real quick. just because I want to spread the word about this, okay? So just give me like, let's see, maybe give me like 3 minutes or so. I'm gonna just make a quick social media post just so I can get the word out there. And if you want to follow me, I just want to reiterate, these are my socials down on the bottom. I was gonna say southeast. I'm so focused on weather right now. On the bottom right hand side of the screen. So if you want to stay up to date on weather and not just on live streams, and you just want to pop in and look at these social media posts, be sure to follow me on any of those platforms. Remember, you don't need to follow me on multiple, just follow me on the one you use the most. See here, let me go here, and I'm just going to add this to a graphic here mentioning 50 inches of rain. And let me just make this smaller because that's way too large of text. Okay, like that, like that. Let's see there. Okay, let me just get a post on this, and I'm almost ready to just start discussing the system again. I do want to show this again while I am posting on social media. I know you can probably hear me typing. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay, just typing right now, bringing catastrophic flooding. All right. Almost got everything posted just because I'm trying to keep everyone updated on the storm, even if those can't really watch the live stream, if that makes sense. I'm going to post it there, and we will be, come on, and there we go. Okay, now let's get back to it. Thank you all so much for being patient on that. Now let's keep discussing the storm. Okay, let's answer some more of these questions here. In terms of impacts, now remember guys, I'm answering your questions in order. Don't think I'm ignoring your question, okay? I'm just going through them in order. So, Kingston, I just discussed that. Let's see. St. Elizabeth, Jamaica. Let's discuss that. Do you think it will reach category 4 or 5? Yes. I think it's likely there. Let's see, where's Jamaica? St. Elizabeth. I'm assuming you're talking about down here. St. Elizabeth over here? Apparently there's a St. Elizabeth somewhere over here. Not really seeing it on this map, but it says it's around here near Santa Cruz. Those areas, in terms of impacts, they are expected to get moderate impacts. In terms of rain, the German run only has 0.1 inches, American run half an inch, and the German run shows around 20 inches of rain falling over there. Looking at the wind accumulations, the German run there shows a maximum of around 150 mile-an-hour winds could be possible there. That's on the higher end. See here, Belize seems safe so far. Yes. You are currently lucky right now in Belize that the system isn't just, like, not all the models are going towards you right now. Treasure Beach. Let's see. Let me find out where that is. Oh, is St. Elizabeth a province or something? I'm going to do a lot more geography. Alright, so I found the beach there, Treasure Beach. Yeah, I'm going to be doing more geography in Jamaica tomorrow. That's what I'm going to be studying, okay? So impacts here. From the German run, winds of up to 60 miles an hour. American run around 20 miles an hour. And the European run, winds of up to 140 miles an hour are possible. Rain accumulations are possible up to 22 inches of rain. But the low end there could be only nothing, really. So it just goes to show the wide variety of impacts from nothing to maybe 2 feet of rain over the next week for Treasure Beach. Let's see, Mandeville. Let's discuss that. Mandeville there? Ooh, okay, so looking at the impacts that they could get there in terms of rainfall accumulations, German run, like nothing. American run, maybe an inch. European run, around 26 inches of rain. So again, nothing to maybe 30 inches of rain for you over there. Wind accumulations should be generally the same story there. American run showing, let's see, around 15 mile an hour winds over there. The German run showing up to 70 mile an hour winds, and the European run showing up to, let's see, up to around 110 miles an hour. So really anywhere from 10 to 110 mile an hour winds are going to be possible for you there. Let's see here. Don't know what that is. But St. Anne. St. Anne, Jamaica, I covered that. Let me do May Pen. May Pen, Jamaica. Okay, I see it over there. May Pen, Jamaica. If we discuss that in terms of the impacts, let's discuss the wind impacts first. May Pen, they are in that category of moderate impacts. I do want to say that over the next 5 days, at least seeing moderate impacts. GFS model, the American run, only around, let's see, 17 miles an hour. German run up to 85 miles an hour. And the European run up to 100 miles an hour. So anywhere from around 20 to 100 miles an hour of winds are expected there. In terms of rainfall, the American run shows only around an inch of rain falling there. The German run shows higher totals, around 4 inches, and the European run shows up to around 20 inches or more of rain falling there. So anywhere from nothing to 20 inches of rain are possible there. What about Antonio Bay, Saint Mary? All right, guys, don't worry. I'm answering the questions as fast as I can. Okay, I'm going question by question. I'm assuming you mean up here. Oh boy. Okay, let's discuss the rainfall forecast first. Or let's start off with the American run here over there, Antonia and or Anado Bay. Around 2 inches of rain from the American run. European run showing 15 inches of rain, and the German run showing 24 inches of rain. So from anywhere from 2 inches to 30 inches of rain will be possible there. Now, in terms of winds, if we take a look at wind accumulations there, American run showing 20 mile an hour winds, the German run showing 100 mile an hour winds, and the European run showing around 80 mile an hour winds. So anywhere from 20 to 100 mile an hour winds are being predicted by the models. What about Spanish Town? I'm sorry, guys. I'm scrolling through your questions. Let's see here. Sorry about that. Hold on. Where'd the question go about Spanish Town? Hold on. I'm trying to find out where I was left off on. There we go. Spanish Town. Okay, Spanish Town. I will search that up now. If we see here, Spanish Town, ooh, okay, that's just to the west of Kingston. So impacts in terms of rain or winds. The German run wants around 100 mile an hour winds. The European runs wants around 80 mile an hour winds, and the American shows like nothing. So anywhere from 15 to 100 mile an hour winds are being predicted from those models. In terms of the rainfall, American run only showing 1 inch, not that bad. European run showing really bad rainfall totals of 20 inches. And if you think that's bad, the German run wants 30 inches of rain or more falling over there in Spanish Town. Let's see here. So for us. Now remember, guys, I am answering your questions in order that they come out. So if you asked a question about a town, I will get to it, okay? Just want to reiterate that. And please subscribe while you're at it, while you're waiting. Anyone here from Puerto Rico? A lot of Puerto Rico without water. That's interesting. Eastern Hanover and the storm coming our way. Let me figure out where that is. Hanover. Okay, I don't know where that is in Jamaica. Can't figure out that. Sorry about that. Well, the condition in Santa Cruz regarding breeze. Okay, don't know about that. Let's see here. Miami. Impacts in Miami too far out to be talking about impacts there. Not even in the cone of uncertainty. So, and not really worth talking about Miami. Or if you're talking about Miami, is there a Miami in Jamaica? I'm going to feel so stupid if I said that's an. Nope. Okay. Just want to make sure. Anato Bay. Let's discuss that again. Anato Bay's up over here. Rainfall could be anywhere from, looking at some of these models, the American run only runs around 2 inches of rain. The European runs once around 15 inches, and the German run once around 25 inches. So really anywhere from 2 to 25 inches of rain could fall there for Anato Bay. In terms of winds, how high of winds that you could get in Anato Bay, let's see, the European run runs around 75 mile an hour winds. The American run once around 20, and the German run once around 100. So anywhere from 20 to around 100 miles an hour, I'd say, for Anato Bay. So you're not from any of the countries in the Philippines. Thank you so much for watching from the Philippines. Yes, thankfully nothing's hitting you. Can you believe it, guys? In the Philippines, nothing's really directly impacting you. Fortunately, it's Jamaica. Will Florida get hit by Melissa? It's uncertain to say this far out. Probability of impacts, though, just under 5% chance of them getting impacts in Florida this far out. Let's see. Calmly enjoyed the day and seeing the most outrageous model predictions. Appreciate the coverage. Any predictions for Betheltown? Alright, I will do that now. Thank you all so much for your support. Remember, if you're liking this kind of coverage, be sure to like the stream and subscribe, as it really helps out a lot. Jamaica. Betheltown, I believe that's what you're going to be talking about. Betheltown's in western Jamaica. Those areas could see moderate impacts at the least. In terms of the rainfall forecast, the American run once around, let me figure out where it went, there it is, only around half an inch of rain, not bad. German run, only half an inch of rain, and the European run once up to 20 inches of rain to fall down there. In terms of wind accumulations, here, starting out with the American run, 20 inches of rain, nothing bad, or 20 miles an hour. The German run, around 60 miles an hour. And the European run here once up to 150 miles an hour to fall. I might have said millimeters, my bad, but 150 miles an hour is the max there. So anywhere from 20 to 150 mile an hour winds are going to be possible there. I'm from Eastern Hanover. Okay, let me look at that again. Hanover, Jamaica. Okay, found it. All right. So you're somewhere here. Okay. Where'd it go? Okay, looks like it's over here-ish. I can't really find it. But these impacts are roughly the same. Around 20 inches as a maximum could fall there. And up to 150 mile an hour winds are possible there. Let's see what other questions here. Awarton. Okay, let's look at that. I'm assuming this is going to be the area right there, the airstrip. Yep, there it is, right next to it. So, impacts that you could get over here. Let's look at the various model runs. Starting off with the American run, the one that's, the least accurate right now. Winds of 20 miles an hour. German run, 90 miles an hour. And the European run, 90 to 100 miles an hour. So anywhere from 20 to 100 miles an hour of winds could occur there. In terms of rainfall accumulations, if we look at the American run, only around an inch of rain. European run wants 16 inches of rain to fall. And the German run wants a foot of rain, 12 inches of rain to fall. So anywhere from 2 to 20 inches of rain could fall really over there. Thank you so much. You are welcome. Let's see here. I live in St. Elizabeth, and if it goes there, if it goes how everyone's going up, Anato Bay, let's do that. Anato Bay here, as a maximum, could see up to 26 inches of rain. On the lower end, though, it's only around, I'd say, 2 inches of rain. So anywhere from 2 to 30 inches of rain really could fall. In terms of wind, The high end looks to be around 100 miles an hour, low end around 20. So anywhere from 20 to 110, I'd really be saying for there in Annatto Bay. Let's see, St. Anne. I really need to figure out where that is. Is that a province? Um, no, is it a bay? St. Anne's Bay. Guys, real quickly, can you type in chat the words St. Anne's Bay if it is if this is the one you're talking about? If this is the St. Anne's, if that's the completely different one, just please let me know. But in terms of impacts that you could get there, winds of up to 80 miles an hour, even higher on the European run with up to 100 mile an hour winds, and the American on a lower 20 mile an hour wind. So 20 to 110 seems to be the consensus there. Rain accumulation, American only wants an inch of rain there. German up to 6 inches of rain, and the European run up to 17 inches of rain or so. So really anywhere from 1 to 20 inches of rain could fall there. See here what else. From X to infinity that this storm reaches 230 miles an hour. I don't think so. I really don't think that there's a possibility there. What about Kingston? Let's talk about Kingston's impacts. Let me just find Kingston. Kingston's over here, I believe. Let me just, yep, verify. There we go. In terms of the wind impacts that they could get, let's discuss that. So from the American run, this is the one that has it going out to sea, only around 15 mile an hour winds. European run wants higher total or higher wind accumulations of around 70 miles an hour, and the German run wants winds of up to 100 miles an hour. So anywhere from 15 to 115 miles an hour, I'd say, for Kingston. In terms of rainfall accumulations, whoops, spoiled that. From the American run, around an inch, so on the lower end there. From the European run, up to 21 inches of rain for Kingston there. And the German run there wants 43 inches of rain. So really anywhere from an inch to 50 inches of rain could fall there. So really need to be watching this. Let's see. Okay. So will Melissa stall, or is it stalling right now? In terms of its forward motion, I will briefly touch on that. I think it's moving probably around 3 miles an hour. Let me check. How fast is it moving? 2 miles an hour. It's stalling right now, actually. This is expected to stall over the next several days. So, yeah, it's not just, oh, is it going to be stalling? Is it stalling now? It's going to be stalling over these next 5 days, moving very slow. Okay, South Persia's example, St. Elizabeth, Kingston, all those areas, Portland, St. James are kind of like states. Hope that helps you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the help there and understanding it more. Again, I'm going to try and learn more about Jamaica after today, or after tonight. All right, Siloa. I'll pull that up. Again, guys, I am going to answer your questions as quickly as I can. I'm just going in order as of when they were asked. Okay, I don't see that on here. All right. What will the wave heights be in the southern end? Ooh, that's going to be hard to forecast this far out, but I can show waves here. Let's see. The German run, what does it, or the European run, what does it want those wave heights to be? I don't know why there's suddenly like a gap down there, because that's not really the center exactly. Okay, there it is. So wave heights could be as high as 30 feet in some areas, or at least from this. And the GFS, though, that has it off towards the east. But yeah, wave heights on the southern portions could be up to 30 feet, looks like, in some areas, depending on where it goes. Into the northern parts of it, up to 35 feet or so. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to answer your questions. This place. Okay. Let me find out Negril over here. I believe that's western Jamaica. Yes, so those areas could experience moderate impacts. That's pretty much what's expected over the next 5 days. But in terms of 7 days, some of the rainfall accumulations, let's touch on that from the American run first. Or let's start off with the German run because they have nothing impacting western Jamaica there, like only half an inch of rain. And looking at the American run, again, only half an inch of rain there. But looking at the European run, up to 20 inches of rain are possible there. In terms of wind accumulation, let's start off with the German run here. Up to 50-mile-an-hour winds. And the American run, 25-mile-an-hour winds. Not bad at all, right? Just a light breeze, maybe gusty, a couple trees down. But if we look at the European run, here, up to 160-mile-an-hour winds are going to be possible for you there. That's Category 5. Yes, guys, if you can, please like the stream as well. That really helps out a lot. And share this with anyone else you know from Jamaica who may have questions of their own. Or if you have questions about other people in other cities, you can always ask them there. But yeah, be sure to share the stream if you have any friends in Jamaica there, or anyone else you know in Jamaica, in other parts of Jamaica that may be uninformed about the system, that there's a system headed their way. Will Melissa impact Haiti and the Dominican Republic? Yes. The entirety of Haiti and the Dominican Republic will see at least marginal impacts. Parts of the southern portions, though, could see major impacts in the form of rain and flooding. The cone says it's going to go north, but it keeps tracking west. Yes, it's been shifting more to the west, and that's why you all in Jamaica are under the gun right now. Ooh, yeah, on this website here, we can take a look at the model trends, how they have shifted. So you forgot where to go exactly. Here it is, trend history. See, it's been shifting more and more to the west. Now, just to the west of Jamaica there. I'd say this could happen there, but the latest Hurricane Center forecast is kind of like this at the end. So, again, it's uncertain where it's going to go. The cone's large for a reason. We don't know where it's going to go that far out. Of course, guys, let's see here. All right, South Trelawney. I'll search that area up. Okay, I don't see it on here. Okay, Santa Ynez Bay. Thank you guys so much. Yes, okay, just want to make sure. Parish. Is parish, though, are those the states? Okay, districts. Okay. All right, thank you guys. Let's see. What about the Dry Harbor Mountain in Saint Anne? I'll search that up. Believe you mean right around here-ish. So let's take a look at some of those impacts that they could get there near Discovery Bay. Dry Harbor there, and I don't know what mountain you're talking about for Dry Harbor Mountain. Trying to look here, but I don't really see anything too much of a mountain. Maybe this? Don't know if that's going to be. I don't really see any mountains here. But if we look at Dry Harbor and the kind of impacts that they could get, let's zoom out a little bit so we can see kind of the color scales. The American run, only once around 15-mile-an-hour winds, nothing bad at all. German run, up to around 70-mile-an-hour winds, and the European run once up to 120 miles an hour winds happening there. Rainfall accumulations, looking at the, let's see, American run, only an inch of rain. German run, up to 4 inches of rain. And the European run here, once up to 18 inches of rain to fall there. Port Royal. Let's look at that. Port Royal, Jamaica. Okay, that looks to be, oh wow, okay, that's just south of Kingston. So let's not spoil this just yet. Let's look at the rainfall, or the wind accumulation forecast. Okay, so from the American run here, winds not bad, only up to 15 miles an hour, not bad at all. European run, higher, bad, 70 miles an hour, and the German run up to 100 mile an hour winds there. Oh, yep, over here. So yeah, really, anywhere from 20 to 110 mile an hour winds could happen there. Now, in terms of rainfall accumulation, let's touch on that. American run only an inch, not bad. Nothing bad at all there, no flooding concerns. European run 20 inches of rain. That's really bad. Up to 22 inches of rain. That's really bad. And it can get worse. The German run wants up to 35 inches of rain falling there. So anywhere from an inch to 40 inches of rain could fall there. Yeah, we did Kingston about 5 times. Yeah, but there's new people coming into the chat, curious about Kingston. So I try to answer all the questions. I live in Westmoreland, Jerusalem Mountain. I'll search that up, see if I can find it. Found it. All right. So I live somewhere around here. Most of these impacts in this area are going to stay the same. Currently, moderate impacts are expected over the next 5 days, but that will likely increase. And let's look at the impacts in the 7-day range. So from the German run, only half an inch of rain falling there. American run, same story, only half an inch. And the European run, though, wants much higher totals there, up to 18 inches of rain falling over the next 7 days. Looks like the new European run is out, maybe. Anyways, now looking at the wind forecast for you there. American run around 20 mile an hour winds. German around 50 mile an hour winds, and then the European run wants up to 150 mile an hour winds. So anywhere from around 25 to 115, or 25 to 150. No, really, 25 to 160 mile an hour winds will be possible for you there. Northwest Clarendon impacts, please. Clarendon Park, I can discuss that. European run wants up to 110 mile an hour winds happening there. German wants 80, and American wants 20. So really anywhere from 20 to 110 mile an hour winds will happen there. In terms of rainfall, the German run here only wants an inch. The American run here wants an inch as well. And the European run wants 25 inches. So really anywhere from an inch to 30 inches of rain could fall there. Knight, just came on your live. What's your projected track? So I want to discuss the track here, since I know that there's a lot of people coming and they're looking at this and like, what the heck does this even mean? So, discussing the forecast for the S's here. These are tropical storm intensity. Expected to meander, maybe do a little bit of a hook there, become a hurricane by around 2.5 days from now. Become still a hurricane there, and by day 4, it's expected to become a major hurricane. Day 5, a Category 4. Day 6, it may try to weaken some, and day 7, it moves towards Cuba. Now, the forecast cone is very large here, so really it could impact anywhere from Hispaniola all the way over towards Cuba and Florida, so it's uncertain as to where it's going. Here's a better look at the projected paths on where it could go. Blues mean around a 5% chance that you'll see impacts from the system. And greens mean like at least a third chance that you're going to see impacts from it. Then anywhere in yellow is like above 60% chance that you're going to see impacts from it. Hopefully that answers your question there. Let's see here. Thanks, Chase. I will start prepping as of tomorrow morning. We'll keep you posted as I have subscribed. Thank you so much, North Sky. Let's see here. Yes, guys, remember, start prepping tomorrow, okay? Really start getting your preparations underway tomorrow. And I will have another stream tomorrow night. Is there a possibility it can impact us twice in Jamaica? Well, really, it's kind of like impacting Jamaica over a long period of time. It's just going to be stalling, so really, the impacts are just going to be happening for days, okay, in parts of Jamaica. So really, it's not going to have a chance to impact you again. Its impacts are going to happen for such a long amount of time. Once it curves out to sea, it's done for you all, okay? But that's not going to happen until another, 7 days. It's not going to curve, it's not going to curve out to sea away from you in Jamaica until around 6 or 7 days from now. Let's see here. Um, I think Cat 5 is a possibility, yes. I believe this will be the strongest storm of the season. It might be, honestly. Spanish Town, St. Catharines. Okay, let's pull up Spanish Town here in terms of the impacts that you could get there. Spanish Town, in terms of rainfall accumulations, Spanish Town could get anywhere from, oh, and they're in that, I believe, on the border there, mainly in moderate impacts. Not expecting major impacts over the next 5 days, but that will likely change beyond that. Spanish Town there, anywhere from, let's see, European run once 20 inches of rain, American run once 1 inch, German run once 30 inches, so really anywhere from 1 to 30 inches of rain could fall there in Spanish Town. In terms of wind accumulations, let's see here. American run once around 15 miles an hour as a maximum. European runs around 80, and German once around 100. So really anywhere from 20 to 100 mile an hour winds could happen there. Let's see here. See, I have a feeling next season we will never see a Melissa again. Yes, and when the next time it's used. South Trelawney, Jamaica. I'm trying to figure out where that is. I really cannot find it. It's not really showing up here. Maybe Trelawney? Is that a place? Okay, I found it here. I guess it's a province, so or district. So really around 60 to maybe 140 mile an hour winds are possible. So really anywhere from 20 to 150 mile an hour are possible in terms of the wind impacts. In terms of rainfall, anywhere from an inch to probably up to 20 inches of rain are possible there. Bog Walk, I will search that up. Okay, Bog Walk is to the northwest of Spanish Town, and let's see those impacts there. Low end is from the American run, only around an inch. Higher end is going to be the European around 17 inches, and the German run with 20 inches. So really anywhere from 1 to 25 inches of rain could fall there. In terms of winds, how strong the winds could be, if we take a look at that, the American run here wants around 20 mile an hour winds. The European wants around 90, and the German wants around 90. So really anywhere from 10 to 100 mile an hour winds are possible there. How in God's name does East Dominican Republic have more of a threat level than Cuba? This is 5 days, okay? I want to reiterate that. This is 5 days of impacts there. This is going to be a rainfall system. If we look at the rainfall accumulations, look at this. More rain in parts of Hispaniola than in Cuba. Beyond the 5-day range, you're right, Cuba would be experiencing worse impacts. But this only goes out to 5 days because that's how much confidence I really have. I'm not going to forecast impacts beyond 5 days. I'll do a cone beyond that. But in terms of impacts, only slight impacts in the form of rain. Even Jamaica, this is low compared to 7 days. This is going to get upgraded over time as confidence increases. South New Forest, Jamaica. Okay, I'll pull that up. Okay, let me look up New Forest. Okay. Kind of hard to tell where you're asking for, but those areas around 60 to maybe around anywhere from 10 to 145 mile an hour winds are possible there. Rain accumulations look to be around a half an inch to up to around up to 20 inches of rain. Really, so an inch to 20 inches of rain are possible there. South Trelawney is right there at Albert Town. Thank you for mentioning that. Remember to mention a town. That helps a lot more. There we go. I found it. Yes. So in terms of rainfall there, let's see here. The German run wants a rain here. Let's see. at around an inch or so, and the German run an inch as well. The European run wants up to 20 inches of rain though, so really anywhere from an inch to 25 inches of rain could fall there. Let's see what else. Is there a chance in the world that this stalls near Jamaica and drops about 8 feet of rain? Let's see how much 8 feet of rain is. Up to 96 inches of rain, it's possible. I would not rule that out with this system, honestly. What cap are you putting on this storm? I would not put a cap at all. 220 miles an hour. This thing could break records. Manchester, Jamaica. Oh, wait, hold on. Someone asked before you there. Sheffield and Negril. There we go. This is the place you're talking about. Impacts there look to be beginning at around... How does this work? Okay. I'm trying to figure out how this works. How do I even change... Okay, there we go. Forecast model. I'm going to try and learn how to do this. What's this? Okay. In terms of impacts here, looking at the European run. Okay, this doesn't go out too far. But in terms of impacts there, you can see it starting getting more gusty on Saturday and Sunday and Monday. Those winds starting to increase now into the 50 mile an hour plus range. And I'm not going to go beyond that, so I don't think, it's not worth it. But in terms of rainfall there, up to 20 inches of rain are going to be possible for you there. Maybe even higher amounts. So really anywhere from half an inch to 25 inches of rain, I'd say, will be possible there. In terms of wind accumulations, it could be anywhere from maybe 25 mile an hour winds up to, let's see, what's the European showing? Up to 160 mile an hour winds. So category 5 is possible there. Let's see here. The official forecast track, this is what it looks like over the next 5 days. So really, it doesn't go out to 7 days. This forecast here that I do does go out to 7 days, and it's fairly similar. They have started noting the northern curve there towards the end of the model run, which is starting to become more and more likely. Well, I mean, it's still stayed likely. It's just now it's starting to reach the 5-day mark. So we will likely see this cone start pointing to the north over the next day. Portmore, let's see about that. Portmore's near Kingston. So impacts there, let's see if there's anything here within the next... okay, I don't want to do this extended forecast. Dang, how do I change it so it's not this long anymore? Oh, there we go, 7-day forecast. Let's cap it at 7 days. Or is this really... No, that's not 7 days. Okay. Anyways, though, impacts start beginning as early as Sunday for you there. In terms of those gustier winds, that's on the European run. American run, nothing there. German run, impacts begin on Monday. Again, though, so again, it's you could get some thunderstorms in between then. But that's when like the brunt of impacts look to begin. And let me pull up the European run here again. In terms of rainfall, the rainfall will be beginning as early as tomorrow night, or tomorrow evening into night, and then it just continues and gets worse, really bad on Sunday and Monday, and then throughout those days. In terms of accumulations, though, over the next week, in terms of rainfall that you could get, European run wants 20 inches, American wants 1 inch. And the German wants 34 inches of rain. So really anywhere from an inch to 40 inches of rain could fall in Portmore. Wind accumulations, American around 14, European at around 70, and German at around 100. So anywhere from really 20 to 100 mile an hour winds are possible there. Let's see, tacos and chicken. Well, I mean, it helps to have someone who knows their stuff about tropical weather talking about the system and giving you more about it, like what's the range of impacts. It's not just reading off of this here. It's saying it's a lot of subjective interpretation. I've dealt with like a lot of these systems before, and I do these unofficial forecasts, that kind of stuff. Let's see here. South Alligator Pond in Jamaica. Alligator Pond, I think, is what you meant. Alligator Pond there, in terms of impacts over the next 5 days or so, I believe this has to be 5 days from now, I think. Um, yes, those areas could see impacts beginning as early as Saturday. Looks like on here. You have Tropical Storm Watch there. In terms of rainfall, beginning as early as Saturday there, at least on the European run. Looking at the German run, impacts don't begin until Monday. Yep. And in terms of rainfall forecast there for Alligator Pond, anywhere from an inch to, in terms of wind accumulations, anywhere from 20 miles an hour to 130 mile an hour winds could happen for Alligator Pond. In terms of rainfall accumulations, though, up to 30 inches of rain could fall. So anywhere from an inch to 30 inches of rain could fall over there. Montego Bay. We can look at that. Let's see. So those areas, impacts could begin. Ooh, okay. This is real early. It's already gusty. It looks like. But impacts are going to progressively get worse over the next few days. So conditions are going to be deteriorating. More thunderstorms, more rain to deal with throughout the whole 5-day forecast here. Now, if we take a look at the rainfall accumulations for there, rainfall accumulations could be as high as 20 inches or so. So really anywhere from an inch to 25 inches, I'd say. In terms of wind, anywhere from 20 to 150 mile an hour winds could happen over there. Malvern, and that's in St. Elizabeth. Malvern, let's see here. Those impacts will really start beginning on Sunday, looks like, from the European run. Now, in terms of rainfall forecasts, or wind forecasts, they could see anywhere from 20 to 150 mile an hour winds as well. In terms of rainfall accumulation, they could see anywhere from, let's see here, an inch to about, let's extend this even further, 25 inches of rain, I'd say, is possible there. Did it already miss the first, though, since it's already stationary? And if so, would it move just due west and not gain any latitude for the time being? Well, it could continue moving to the west and just go towards Central America there. That is a possibility, and it could just dissipate over here or over here. I do think it is going to gain latitude, though. It is going to be dragged up to the north and eventually towards the northeast. Let's see, Mandeville. Let's see, Jamaica could see anywhere from moderate to major impacts for that country there. And let's look at Mandeville in Jamaica. Let's see here. So impacts there begin as early as Friday, really early as tomorrow. Some of those thunderstorms, and maybe again on Friday, Saturday, and it really starts picking up on Sunday and Monday. Seems like stronger winds. In terms of rainfall forecast, they could see up to 30 inches of rain. Anywhere from an inch to 30 inches of rain could fall for there. In terms of wind accumulations, anywhere from, I'd say, 20 to 120 mile an hour winds are possible there. Do you think the storm will be catastrophic in some areas? Because here it is very hot, and when it's coming from its off-cold side, I don't know what you mean by that, but catastrophic impacts could be possible beyond the 5-day range. Again, I will continue posting updates on my social medias, so if you want to follow me on there, X, Instagram, Discord, or Blue Sky and Facebook, or even on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the channel. It really helps out a lot. Let's see here. What other questions? Is there a chance the storm stalls for so long it just fizzles out? Well, okay. Let's see. So, sorry, I just saw another comment you left. But in terms of stalling there, not really. Oceanic heat content is just so high that even if the storm stalls here, like if we show the HAFS-B run of the system just stalling there, notice how the waters don't even cool that much. It's just so warm that it does not fizzle out at all. Even if it stalls as like a Category 5 for a full day, the water's only cool by about 2 to 3 degrees Celsius, which normally they'd cool by like 6 or 7 degrees Celsius. Let's see there. And I was asked, guys, what country do you think I'm from? I'm just curious. Because I'm just curious what people think of my accents, all that kind of stuff. Yes, okay, I am from America. Yes, all right. That's, I'm curious why someone thought I had a Canadian accent. That's interesting. Hellshire. Okay, I can search that up. It's looking good for the Northern Bahamas this week. Okay, so Bahamas, their Northern Bahamas, probability of them getting impacted is probably around 20% chance. Or in the Northern Bahamas, around a 5% chance. So it really depends. We'll know more in time, but they are in that the southern or like one of those northern islands is partially in the cone of uncertainty. Again, I'll post more updates over the coming days. Be sure to follow me on social media and be sure to subscribe as I will be continuing posting updates about the system. So, Hellshire, let's look at that. Hellshire, conditions will begin deteriorating really on Saturday into Sunday and Monday. Getting a lot worse there. Some of those tropical storm force winds impacting the region there really on Sunday. Before Sunday morning. So remember, get your preparations done before the beginning of next week. Now, in terms of wind accumulations, how strong those winds could be, German or American run, the one that has it like the low end model. Let's see here what it wants. It wants only around 15-mile-an-hour winds. The European run wants up to 75-mile-an-hour winds, and the German run wants around 90-mile-an-hour winds. So anywhere from 20 to 100-mile-an-hour winds, I'd say, is possible there for Hellshire. In terms of rainfall accumulations, we have the American run showing only an inch. European run showing, let's see, up to 2 feet of rain, 25 inches of rain, and the German run showing 25 inches of rain. So anywhere from an inch to 30 inches of rain are possible there. What about Burnt Savannah in Westmoreland? Can search that up. I believe this is where you're talking about. Impacts, okay, it's always gusty, looks like. So really impacts are going to be starting to begin as early as tomorrow. Some more of those gusty winds and some thunderstorms potentially. But in terms of rainfall accumulations over the next week, really the high end there is up to around, I'd say 20 inches of rain will be possible in that area. Anywhere from 1 to 20 inches of rain seems possible. Now, in terms of wind accumulations, up to 140 miles an hour. So really, anywhere from 20 to 150 mile an hour winds are possible there. Let's see. I'm not from Utah. I am from Florida, actually. Is Melissa going to be a Category 5 by tomorrow? Most likely not. It is expected to struggle as a tropical storm. So over the next 24 hours, it may not even strengthen at all during that amount of time. It is a messy system right now. It's sheared, not doing that great at all right now. So really not going to intensify a whole lot. So not going to be a Category 5 by tomorrow. It should just be a tropical storm, maybe moderate tropical storm or high-end tropical storm by tomorrow. We'll see. Cave Valley South, Western Santa Ana. Okay, Cave Valley. I'll search that up. Sorry about that. Okay. Uh, Not really able to find it on here. Clearwater area? Let me see about that. Is Clearwater in here in Jamaica? Nope. Okay. Richmond. I can search that up. Yeah, okay, now I'm finally catching up to your guys' question. Now I'm answering the most recent question. Okay, I don't know which Richmond you're talking about because there's a lot. If you can, please say the county. That would help out. Oh, well, this is one of my most popular live streams. I will tell you in a moment how popular it is. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'm just trying to pull it up here. Wait, are we already at 3.6 thousand? No way. Hold on. Whoa, thank you guys so much. Was not expecting that. Thank you guys so much for 3.6 thousand subscribers. Really helps out a lot. Let's see. So in terms of the ranking on what stream or how high up this would be, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, ninth place or 10th place looks like, or no, sorry, ninth place. Yep. I would need to reach 3.1 thousand views to move up the rankings a lot, and we're getting close. We're at around 2.7 thousand views. Wow. Um, Okay, so sorry. Someone asked the question earlier. Richmond and Middlesex County. Is that how you say it? Just want to make sure I'm not saying it wrong. Let me just search up where you're asking for again. Richmond. Oops, sorry. This one. So I'm assuming you're talking about this one right here. This area. Richmond Hill. One of these areas over here. In terms of impacts, they could begin as early as tomorrow in terms of some of the outer rain bands, and yeah, that's going to continue for a while, looks like. And in terms of rainfall accumulations, or winds, it could be up to anywhere from 90, it looks to be around 20 to 100 mile an hour winds, I'd say, for there. And in terms of rainfall accumulations, anywhere from, let's see, let's see, 2 inches to up to 20 inches. Let's say I believe this is going to be up to 20 inches, up to 15 inches, and then this one's up to, okay, so anywhere from, I'd say, 1 to 20 inches of rain could fall there. Now, let's see, Montego Bay. Search that up. Here, so impacts there could begin as early as probably Thursday, tomorrow, some outer rain bands and continuing, but it starts picking up, looks to be on Saturday evening. And in terms of rainfall here, up to 20 inches of rain could be happening there, at least on the European run. So I'd say about an inch to 25 inches of rain could fall for you there over the next week. See here. And in terms of winds that could happen, up to 150 mile an hour winds are possible. But again, though, there is the low end solution. It's only 20. So anywhere from, I'd say, 25 to 150 mile an hour winds. Let's see here. Can you look at the Google AI model? Sure. If there's another storm after Melissa, let's hope not. I have not checked. I'm sorry, it's lagging a little bit, my bad. Okay, beyond, I'm going to refresh it so we can see the system after Melissa, if there's anything. Only one or two members showing something there, so not really anything to be concerned about at all. It's going to be quieter after this. Nassau next week. Now, I don't want to be talking about impacts this far out since that's beyond the week range for Nassau in the Bahamas. In terms of winds, though, over the next 7 days, this is from the European run, maximum of around, let's see, like 35 miles an hour wind, so nothing too bad there. Rainfall accumulations only around an inch or so, so nothing really impacting Nassau and the Bahamas just yet. Remember, it's going to take its time to get there, okay? But in terms of the percent chance of you getting impacted, probably around a 10% chance. Spot Valley. Okay, Cave Valley. I'll do Cave Valley first. Hmm. I don't see it here. Let me do Spot Valley. Was that on here? There it is. Okay, Spot Valley. Let's see when impacts could begin there. Okay, impacts could begin as early as tomorrow with some, outer rain bands, things like that. And it looks to be picking up on Saturday afternoon. And then continuing to be bad at least through Monday. Now, in terms of, where'd it go? Okay, it was somewhere right around here. In terms of, okay, I'll search it up one last time. Yep, okay, right over there. That looks like a cool place to live. Not for impacts, but I mean just interesting valley there. Rainfall could see up to 20 inches of rain, so I'd say anywhere from about 1 inch to 24 inches of rain are possible there. Oh dang, okay. All right, oh wait, is this new? Hold on. Sorry, the models were a little bugging out a little bit. Sorry about that. Okay. And in terms of winds that you could get there, let's take a look here. Wind accumulations up to around 140 miles an hour maximum. So I'd say anywhere around 20 to 150 mile an hour winds are possible there. Pit 4, Granville. Pit 4, okay, I'll search that area up. Impacts could begin as early as tomorrow with some of those outer rain bands, and it looks to be picking up more on Friday, more on Sunday as well. It just progressively gets worse each day. Beyond that, though, of course, I'm not going to discuss the day of worse impacts because that's just too far out. In terms of 7-day impacts, though, what they could get there, around 150 mile an hour winds as a maximum, so anywhere from 20 to 150 is possible. And looking at the winds here, and looking at rainfall accumulations, up to 20 inches is being shown on the European run. So really anywhere from 1 inch to 25 inches of rain is possible there. Congrats on reaching 3.61 thousand subscribers. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Um, okay, so let's answer some more questions here. Sandy Bay, Andover. Let's talk about that area. Let's see. So Sandy Bay. Okay. I believe it's this area you're talking about here. Alright, so impacts could begin as early as tomorrow with some of those outer rain bands, but it looks to be picking up on Saturday. Saturday morning, it looks like it begins to pick up. So it remains that kind of deteriorating conditions throughout the 5-day period. In terms of 7 days impacts there, Up to 20 inches of rain is being forecasted from the European run. So anywhere from around an inch to 24 inches of rain is possible there. In terms of the wind impacts that you could get, we have models like the American run not showing really anything there, only 20 mile an hour winds, and the European run wanting up to 160 mile an hour winds. So 20 to 160 mile an hour winds, Category 5 is possible there. Is Jamaica going to get a landfall? It's so uncertain. You see this cone here? The cone is so large at that point, and there's only a 2/3 chance it actually stays in that cone. So it could meander even more to the east or more to the west, so it's uncertain this far out. Denham Town, Kingston. All right, Kingston there, those areas, looks like conditions are going to be starting to really deteriorate. It's going to be, like a couple thunderstorms maybe, or rain showers, nothing too big. But on Sunday, like overnight Saturday into Sunday morning, that looks like when impacts are starting to begin there. Let me just double check if the German run agrees with that. Okay. Um, Again, we'll have a better idea over the coming days. In terms of impacts, though, wind impacts, German run or European run wants 70 mile an hour winds. Okay, European run, new ones, or new German runs coming out. This is now showing lower accumulations, because this is the one that stalls near Haiti. So instead of it having around 100 mile an hour winds for Kingston in these areas, it's now down to around 35 or so. This is the model run, this one right here. Whoops, not that one. The earlier run was this run right here, showing 50 inches of rain for parts of eastern Jamaica. Now the newest run here has it stalling just off the coast of Haiti there. Which I'm very interested to see the rainfall accumulations from this run. Oh my god. 60 inches of rain. 70 inches of rain being forecasted from this model. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That would be catastrophic for parts of Haiti. Really gotta hope this doesn't get closer to land or to Jamaica, for example. This would be catastrophic if this were to verify. This is only out to 7 days, so man, okay. That is not good at all. Um, let's see here. What else? Do you think the GFS has any shot? That's one of the scenarios. It moving off towards the northeast. That's possible. So Hispaniola should be watching out for the possibility of major impacts with this system. Brownstown. Let's look at that. And guys, if you're liking this kind of coverage, be sure to subscribe, as it really helps out a lot. If you want to stay up to date on these kind of systems, I do these updates every so often, like every day now for this system. So if you want to stay up to date, because remember, a lot can change in a day. It could be looking like, oh, you guys might not see a whole lot, and then, oh my gosh, there's a Category 5 headed your way. So really just, if you want to stay up to date and you live anywhere in this, especially if you live anywhere in this cone, this highlighted circle, or anywhere in this green area as well, be sure to subscribe as I continue doing these kind of updates, and it really helps out a lot. And you can like the stream as well if you're liking this kind of content. It helps out as well. Now, Brownstown. Search up that area. Whoops. Not seeing that there. What about Negril? So there, if it goes on the westernmost end, the impacts there could be devastating for those areas. The European run, once impacts will begin, doesn't look like it happens up until Sunday and Monday, at least beginning. But some of those rainfall totals could be up to 20 inches. So really anywhere from an inch to 25 inches of rain could fall. In terms of winds, though, those winds could be Category 5 strength in that portion. It's continuing to shift more and more to the west, so they could see a Category 5 landfall out of the system. I would not rule that out. My family is in Exuma in the Bahamas. Ooh, someone from the Bahamas. Nice. Okay. I will search that up. So that's a little bit far out to be discussing. Nothing within the next 5 days. Within the next 7 days, only around 40-mile-an-hour winds, maybe. Let's see. Are they even highlighted for? Okay, let me just check. They're not even highlighted for marginal impacts within the next 5 days, so you're good there. Just keep checking back for updates. I will be doing these live streams every day, and if you want to if you're not able to attend live stream and you'd like to see my latest updates, you can follow me on my social medias on over here. Let's see here, Red Hills. I will search that up. Red Hills there looks like it's smack dab in the middle there of Jamaica. Could start to see some impacts tomorrow with some of those outer bands and just progressively getting worse throughout the next 5 days. They are in that area highlighted for moderate impacts. In terms of rainfall, around or winds up to 100-mile-an-hour winds are possible. So 20 to 110-mile-an-hour winds, I'd say. Rainfall could be up to 25 inches of rain. So an inch to 25 inches of rain for you there. Let's see, Falmouth. Now remember, I do answer the questions in the order they come in. So if you think I'm ignoring your question, I'm not, okay? You can scroll up the chat and see kind of what message I'm at. Falmouth, they could see impacts begin as early as tomorrow with some of those outer rain bands, but it looks like it starts picking up on Sunday. Early Sunday, potentially, at least on the European run. In terms of 7-day impacts, they could see rain totals as high as 20 inches. So really an inch to 20 inches of rain could fall there. In terms of winds, how strong of winds, anywhere from 20 to 140 mile an hour winds are possible there. Will Melissa become a extratropical storm? Possibly, but that's beyond the 7-day range. If it speeds off towards the northwest there, then probably, yeah. Will you cover the cyclone expected to form in the Bay of Bengal? Yes, over the coming days, but we're mainly focused on Melissa. That system has a 10% chance of development over the next 48 hours and a 60% chance over the next 7 days. So yes, I will be doing coverage from that. Are you in the Bay of Bengal? I'm curious. Why isn't Jamaica in a hurricane warning now when a Cat 5? A hurricane warning means hurricane impacts within 36 hours. You guys have more time than that before it reaches you. Remember, this forecast is 5 days, and it's not even impacting Jamaica then. The tropical storm watch may even be unnecessary, because they're not really expected to get tropical storm force winds within 48 hours. Hurricane watch for Haiti is not needed at all. But remember, the winds is not the problem, it's the rain that's going to be an issue. Alright, let's see. Montego Bay. That area, which is going to be over, let me find it again. Montego Bay, where'd it go? There it is, okay. So Montego Bay could see impacts as early as tomorrow with some of those outer rain bands, but like nothing too severe. Seems to be picking up on Saturday. Yes, Saturday looks like when it starts to pick up a little bit. Not too bad. And then now looking at the 7-day forecast there, European run wants a high amounts of 150 miles an hour. So anywhere from, I'd say around 20 to 150 mile an hour winds are possible there. Again, it's just so uncertain. In terms of the rainfall, up to 20 inches. So from the European run, I'd say anywhere from, let's see here, around an inch to 25 inches of rain are possible there. Does it look good for Jamaica? No. They're in that moderate category now, and the eastern portions are in that possibility of major impacts. What about Portmore? So you can search that up here. Portmore here, impacts, let me see the impact timing, but they could see up to 25 inches of rain. I want to point that out. They could get some of the outer bands tomorrow, but the impacts seem to start picking up on Sunday. Sunday morning starts to pick up, at least on the European run. So anywhere from an inch to 25 inches of rain are possible, and wind gust, or wind accumulations, anywhere from, at least on this model, anywhere from 20 to 70 mile an hour winds are possible there. What about Spanish Town? Spanish Town's pretty much a similar story. Up to 25 inches of rain is possible, and up to 85 mile an hour winds are possible there. White House, I can search that up. Oh boy, okay. So White House here, sorry for that reaction, but impacts could begin as early, probably start picking up on Monday morning. But the wind forecast, they could see winds of up to 170 miles an hour. So from the European run, so really up to 180 mile an hour winds are going to be possible there. So Category 5 is going to be possible. Rain accumulations up to 20 inches of rain will be possible there. What's up? How many? What to do? Go to Jamaica on July 1st, 2028. Okay. Portmore. I think I might have discussed that earlier. Portmore, yeah, same impacts there. Around 90 mile an hour winds, maybe 100 mile an hour winds possible as a maximum. Low end up to 20 mile an hour winds, so nothing too bad. What about George's Plain? I'll search that up. George's Plain there could see impacts begin. Some of those outer bands may impact, but those impacts don't really begin at all beyond Monday, really. Not really picking up too severely. But in terms of rainfall over 7 days, they could see up to, let's see here, 17 inches or more of rain falling there. And in terms of things like wind accumulations, up to around 150 mile an hour winds are going to be possible as around a maximum. And yes, there is something possibly developing in the subtropics of the Atlantic there. Going to be moving towards the Azores Islands. Around a 30% chance of development over 7 days, with a 10% in 48 hours. So 97W invests a hurricane. Nope, it's a tropical storm meandering near the Babuin Islands and the Batanes Islands of the Philippines. I haven't really looked at that. Montego Bay. If we can discuss that again. Montego Bay begins to get some of those outer rain bands possibly tomorrow, and then starts picking up, looks like on Saturday morning. Some of those gustier winds are going to be possible. Wind accumulations, you guys could see winds of as high as anywhere from 20 to 150 mile an hour winds. And in terms of rain accumulations, anywhere from an inch to 25 inches of rain will be possible there. What about Port Antonio? We can discuss that. Let's see here. Port Antonio could see impacts begin as early as tomorrow, really, with some of those outer rain bands. You're probably already experiencing some of those impacts right now. On Friday there, it starts picking up even more, and really picking up on Sunday morning. Not too bad, though. Nothing, no tropical storm impacts or anything, just tropical storm force gust beginning to happen there. In terms of maximum rainfall totals, up to 25 inches of rain could fall there, anywhere from 1 to 25 inches of rain. And in terms of wind accumulations, anywhere from around, let's see, 20 to 75 mile an hour winds. Negril, we can look at that area. No impacts are really expected over the next, oh wait, maybe some impacts tomorrow and the next few days, but nothing too severe. Maybe some peaks on Saturday and Sunday with some thunderstorms, but nothing too bad with a system over the next 5 days. Now, however, in the 7-day range, they could see winds as high as 160 mile an hour winds. So they could get a Category 5 direct hit from this system. That's not great. Rainfall accumulations could be anywhere from an inch to 25 inches of rain. Let's see what other questions here. Will you cover 97W? Probably not. Chapelton? I'll search that up. Alright guys, I'm going to be disabling the questions now just because I'm going to be planning to end this stream in around 6 minutes. Just because I need to get sleep. I will have another stream tomorrow to discuss it more, but I'm going to finish up these questions. So this area, Chapelton, we can look at that area. Impacts could begin as early as tomorrow and then into Friday, but really nothing too bad, even in the parts of Monday. Monday is when it's starting to pick up more, looks like. In terms of total rainfall accumulations, they could see up to 25 inches of rain, anywhere from 1 to 25 inches of rain, and wind accumulations anywhere from around 20 to 100 mile-an-hour winds. Let's see here. If that's about Clarendon. Do you think Jamaica will get the worst of the storm? Within 5 days, the next 5 days of impacts, they could. It's tied, kind of, with parts of the Dominican Republic, Haiti, and Jamaica. But we'll see. They'll probably get the worst if we're talking about the next 7 days. Trelawney. We can look at that area. Let me find it again here. Sorry about that. I'm a little bit tired now. Alright, Trelawney. Oops, okay. That got deleted, but okay, that's a county more so. So, winds anywhere from 20 to 140 mile-an-hour winds are possible. Rainfall accumulations anywhere from 1 to 20 inches of rain are possible there. Will Melissa going to be weakening due to land interaction? Land interaction is really the only thing that's going to be trying to weaken it, and internal processes like eyewall replacement cycles, things like that. Just internal structural things. Not really the waters or shear or dry air, but it could weaken slightly due to land interaction there as it's approaching Jamaica. Currently forecasting a Category 3 there, but that could be conservative. And let's see here, Manchester. Now remember, guys, I'm pretty much going to... Okay, you know what? I'm going to wrap it up now discussing the entirety of Jamaica, okay? Just to go over it. So no more questions, please. If you have any questions, I will answer them in the next live stream, which will be tomorrow, probably even earlier, maybe as early as 6 p.m. Just be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, so then you could see more up-to-date information. Currently, I'm giving you all the information I have right now, and this is still a little bit far out. This is 5 days out, even a little bit beyond that, 6 days out. So that's a little bit far out there. But in terms of the entirety of Jamaica, I can go over some areas here. In terms of the next week, some areas like Kingston or Morant Bay, 30 inches, Port Antonio, 20, Kingston, 20. Enoto Bay, 20, 15 over here. Alligator Pond, 25. Discovery Bay, 20. Montego Bay up to 25 inches. In southwestern Jamaica up to 20 inches of rain. Winds that could happen. These are the worst case scenarios. Eastern portions anywhere from around 100 mile-an-hour winds. That does include Kingston. The southwestern portions could see up to 180 to 190 mile-an-hour winds depending on where you're located at. Depends on if it makes a direct strike as well. Yes, thank you, Trigon. I really like all the questions. Yes, there's so many, but I try my best to answer them all. Again, guys, thank you so much for all your support. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Just please, I ask you all. I put in a lot of effort in informing you all. Alright, so again, just discussing the cone one last time. Impacts there. This is the next 5 days. It's expected to meander around here, then go towards Jamaica, and then off towards Cuba and the Bahamas. some areas in Hispaniola, the southeastern Bahamas, southeastern Cuba, the entirety of Jamaica, and the Cayman Islands could see at least marginal impacts. The southern two-thirds of Hispaniola, the southern portions of Cuba, the entirety of Jamaica there could see at least slight impacts. The southern third of Hispaniola and the entirety of Jamaica could see at least moderate impacts. And these areas here for parts of southern Hispaniola or southern Dominican Republic, the southwestern peninsula of Haiti, and eastern Jamaica could all see possibility of major impacts over the next 5 days. And this will likely be increased over the next update. Real quickly, I'm going to leave you with this. Follow me on one of these social media platforms to stay more up to date, as I do post updates throughout the day on these various social media platforms. So if you have X or Twitter, follow me on @hurricane_chase. If you have YouTube or Instagram, if you're watching me on YouTube, you should please subscribe. But I also have an Instagram account @HurricaneChaserChase if you happen to just prefer to using Instagram. If you have a Discord account, you can join there through discord.gg/chasestorm. And if you have a Facebook account or Blue Sky account, you can search me up at Cyclone Tracking. Well, that's about it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. And yes, my calculus exam went well. Thank you for asking. I believe I probably got above an 80% on that. So yes, thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next update, which will be tomorrow night. Stay safe.